Here we go, race 2, race start. I'm super pumped because race 1 went quite well. My start from race 1 was quite well. I really want to work on this. I need to stay in the group, keep my position. So that's going to make a big difference to my race. Sorry about the echoey sound, but anyway, we're off. Not a bad launch, not as good as before. Lost a couple of places. You know, that's not as bad as it's been in the past. So now we're going to try and hold, and it's like this is a tight turn 1, so you're on tenterhooks, and then going through here is not too bad, a bit tight again. But this chicane here, you're like, there could be problems, and you can see there's a melee of riders. But we're through. That's pretty cool. So hard on the gas now. I don't know how many places I lost. I've got to assume I've lost a few. That's just me, isn't it? But we're going to try and just keep pushing, push, and try and get up some more places. I'm really enjoying this track. When I got here, it was so bumpy. You're like, wow, I'm not going to enjoy this. But actually, the bumps were in acceptable places, and the track is fast. It's nice and fast. It would be amazing if they resurfaced it. But even as it is, sometimes the bumps add character and make it cool, and I super enjoyed this. This section out here is fast. I'm just about holding on to these guys at the moment, so we're going to do our best. And the bike, I made a small couple of changes to the bike for this session. Just took a millimetre out of ride height on the rear, and what did I do? 6 clicks of rebound I added in onto the shock to try and help it grip rather than pump. Here we are again, the infamous last turn. We've got a good drive. I'm using a lower gear than I was last time. This guy, he missed the gear. I had to roll off. Lucky not to go in the back of him. That could have been pretty spectacular, couldn't it? Down the back stretch, far, finish straight. Got past him into this corner. Every lap I'm not carrying enough speed through this that corner. But you know, it's my first time at this circuit, and some of the corners where you need to be braver, I need to understand it a bit more before I can really get in there, and I was just letting myself down every lap there. This corner, what's 170 miles an hour around that corner into this braking zone, the bike's moving on the brakes. It's pretty exhilarating. I seem to be quite strong there. I feel like I pull people in, but with this circuit there's quite a lot of big braking zones and then big acceleration, and you get that concertina effect, so you feel like you catch them, but then look, now they're gone. Or I've just been a bit shit through here, probably a combination of the two. Potentially I'm just very shit through there though. Hard on the gas around here. This is a mega corner, great exit on here. There's a small bump, click fourth into this complex here. Now what I did different for this lap, into this next right-hander, I decided to take first, which I was previously doing in second. I did go a bit quicker in this race, so maybe that works for me with the gearing I've got. As you can see, we're just pulling into this group here. I can't see on my screen, but I think Will's is in this group. And, you know, Will's just gone to BSB, what a ledge. He had a great time there. You know, fair play to him, he's done it. He did well as well. He was in the top 30. I think he had a low 20s finish, maybe 22nd. Maybe he'll correct me if he watches my videos. But so to be, you know, up close to the pace of the guys that have been to BSB recently is like really nice. That's really cool. And he, as I spoke to him about it, he had an amazing time. And so he should have done it. It is an amazing thing to do, and he did really well. It's really cool. Well done, Wills. So anyway, we're trying to get onto this group. Everybody's fast. It was really good this race because the pace of everybody, there's a good group of people doing good pace. So you know, I qualified 16th in race 1. I was up to 13th in race 2. So it you know, it shows real good depth of talent and pace in the field. Top 3 were significantly faster, like normal. Maybe top 4, Tom Norton's never seen 4th or 5th, but sort of maybe 6th back to me basically it's not a huge margin, maybe a second across us, so that gives you hope. And in a race, if you can get on the back of somebody who's just that little bit quicker than you, hopefully you can you know, hold on to them. Stuff finish straight, you always got wheelies. It's a real tough corner to come out of because you've got to deal with the wheelie, but I'm getting better into that turn 1, and I can really gain on everyone through there, and I feel there's more to come, so that's really promising as well. Hard on the gas around here, hard on the gas out of here now, and this is the big straight. My rev lights aren't coming on. I'm not using all the power of the bike. Are we going to have a look here? You get sucked in because you think you're gaining on people. You know they're going to brake, but even though it's a big braking area, it was at 170 down to. Didn't even look at that speed up last time. Next time, you know, it's a big braking area, but the corner's still reasonably quick, so tough one to make. This is the fast sequence out the back now. You know, it's very physical, this circuit, really physical, and especially when you're going race pace, you are, for me anyway, because I'm maybe a bit older and maybe not quite fit as some of the other guys, I was blowing. I breathed in really hard. Not like in a sexual way though, you know, more like, you know, it's hard to describe. Even when I'm like, you know, go to the gym and I do a spin class and I'm like pushing myself there, I don't breathe as hard as I do when I'm on this bike. And it's, yeah, you know, maybe it's because you're the mental capacity trying to get oxygen brain. I don't know the science behind it. I'm just a dickhead on a motorbike, aren't I? But anyway, I was just trying to breathe a lot, try and keep you know, control of my my breathing and heart rate, but really pushing one to hold on to these guys and go with them, and I'm just about holding on in there. Bear in mind all of these guys qualified ahead of me, so theoretically they're all quicker than me, so I'm doing, I feel I'm doing a section of, here we go, what's this, 108, we're all having a look, have I got through there? Oh, what's going on there? I think Will's had a little issue, and I think I've just taken three places for the price of one. That was pretty lucky. Yes, that's what happened. Will's had a little bit of a look at someone, I'm not sure who he is next to, and he lifted them, and I was making a pass anyway, was I? Yeah, and so I took 3 places, or was it 4? There's Liam Murtaugh, Wills, or maybe it's Wills and Liam Murtaugh had the issue and I was coming past them. Anyway, take past 3 riders in one corner, you're going to be pretty happy about that. And then, I can't believe it, because in previous races, you know, when you get behind a group, the groups in front just disappear, and I'm just straight onto this next group, which is fucking cool. And what's really cool about it is a good mate of mine, Damo Fricker, on the Aprilia's in the middle of it. He did really well here last year, so I'm pretty stoked with myself for being able to catch up with this group, and I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to try and get past them, but as you can see, I'm just edging up to them really, so you're kind of in your head, you're thinking, right, I want to get on this group, but equally in your head, you're kind of aware that, sorry, just looking at that, I think maybe my back wheel was off the track then. Oh no, that's different, cool. No, so in the back of your mind, you're like, cool, I'm coming into the back of these guys, but it's not like I'm really pulling them in hand over hand. So then you got to think, it's hard to overtake somebody doing the same speed as you. But sometimes, like here, they've pulled away from me, haven't they? I think realistically. So it's obviously some parts of the track, maybe in turn 1, I'm a bit quicker than them. Then this fast section at the back, they're a bit quicker than me. But that's cool, right? Because then next lap, if I can think, I have the capacity when I'm on the bike, which I don't always do, don't have the capacity in normal life to be fair, but if I have the capacity to be aware that they're quicker than me here, that gives me an advantage, because I can then work on being quicker in that section, but they don't know I'm quicker in the first section. And as you can see, this hairpin, wow, what oh yeah, there you go. Probably didn't see much there, but the rear wheel just stepped off the edge of the track into dirt. Just had a slide and drive really. I got away with that one. That could have been proper nasty. We didn't lose too much time. We're still there with the guys. As you see, it's the concertina effect. It looks like I've pulled them in massively, but actually it's just a braking sequence. And now when we get onto this straight, you'll see them all drive. Really cool to be on the back of the train, so to speak. And what have we got there? 165, so slower that time into the section. Again, hard on the brakes, bike moving around on the brakes. There's a little couple of bumps there, which just sort of pick the back of the bike up. But that's like just quite good fun, you know. The bike feels alive, and you're getting into it. I said I took a bit of a gamble with the settings into this race, and they seem to work perfectly. If I did the next race, I would probably progress with those setting changes. So I dropped a mil out of the ride height to help the bike turn better up the rear. I would probably take another millimetre out, and it helps with edge grip, drive grip on the corner exit, and bizarrely helps the bike turn better as well. So here we go. Here we are putting it at neutral. This is the danger, and this is why I don't like doing it, of using first gear. If you just lose focus tiny amount and don't give that gear lever enough of a push, you're just going to pick up neutral. Fortunately, it didn't cost me too much, which was you know, really lucky. And we then pulled the group in a bit here. Let's have a look. You can see this is a really cool train. Like, these guys are pushing on, and everyone's riding amazingly. I might have a little, yeah, there we go. I'm not on the track. Again, how have I got away with those two? Let me see, the group's pulled away a bit. How have I got away with those two misdemeanors? You know, the riding gods were watching me favourably, weren't they? And you know, they haven't pulled away too much, so I've still got a chance, still got hope. Although 3 mistakes there, isn't it? I caught neutral, had the little rear end off the track at the start finish straight, and then whole bike off the track on the back straight, and that's just cost me a bit of time. And we're heading into the end of the race now. The laps are counting down, and I said earlier, I'm not much faster in this group. I must be a bit faster because I've pulled them in, but not by much. And it's just sort of like walked up to them really, rather than hand over fist pulled them in. And so those 3 mistakes just then probably cost me a chance, is what it is. And did I see a last lap flag? No, I don't think so. We've still probably got 3 laps to go here. This group is getting tight again. I pulled them in that section 1, I believe, through turn 1. I seem to be good there, but equally, as I get tired, that sort of mentality of being brave and pushing your limits starts to sort of waver. Here we go. What's happening here? We're having a look. There's something going up front. Oh, see, he's gone for a little drive through the field. Maybe go and get some shopping. That corner, this is what I mean, you get sucked in, you think, I can do something on the brakes, but if everybody's reasonably good on the brakes and you're trying to outbrake somebody, you are in trouble. And we all got lucky there was no incident, and the guy that went into the field, he managed to put it round and get and finish the race, so well done him. And now, Damo Fricker has got into the leaderless group, and he's starting to pull away a bit. The group has started to spread a little bit there, hasn't it? Damo has obviously been held up. So you know, I don't think I'm going to get time to get to Damo. I don't think I've got the pace quite to get there, but we've got to see how we can get along. Still keep ahead, still keep fighting. These guys here, they're doing well. Have I got a look here? Yes, that was a pretty cool move. Came from a reasonable way back, got a good drive out of the hairpin, and that allowed me to get the overtake done into turn 1. And I'm trying to keep my head down, but I am so fucked on the bike at this stage, and it's like I need to get into these guys. I know I've got somebody behind me, and I don't know now, because he's on an R1, they've got advantages, right, in different parts of the track. So I've got to kind of be aware, but don't be too aware of the rider behind me. I want to get into the riders in front of me. I would love to stuff Damo Fricker up before the end of the race. Fuel lights just come on as well. That's now a little bit of a concern. Last race, fuel light didn't come on. I know I can do at least a lap with the fuel light on, but my pace is higher than when I've gone before. And what happens when you're low on fuel? Obviously the bike will cough, and if someone's right behind you and it starts spluttering, that's the problem. But nothing I can do about it, right? So head down, try and get into these guys, try and get the drive, try and get your braking just about right. You start hearing the bike behind you, even if it's not there, and then we're going to look out on the left. Are we going to see the last lap flag? Yes, there it was, the yellow flag with black X on it. Damo's out of reach, and I think the guy in front of me is out of reach as well, but you never know, right? He can make a mistake into any corner, and it just allows you in there. But look at his drive today, he's pulling on me through this section, and then yeah, he's just, that second corner there, he's driven much better than me. He's basically, look at the gap he's pulled with me just through those 2 or 3 corners. Hard on the brakes, back end moving round. Concertina effect, I feel I can get back to them, but the reality is, I don't think it's the case. I think it's just the concertina. And now that I'm riding with the faster riders, when I was in the race yesterday, this section of track, I was pretty fast through here and would pull riders in. But obviously now I'm riding up against these faster riders, I was losing time through that section. But maybe he's come back to me a little bit, so you're still hoping. There's a mistake. Daniel's obviously gone. He's well out of my reach in reality. But as I said, small mistake. There's some tricky corners coming up now. This right-hander and then the last hairpin. Very easy to make a mistake. We're going to try and get on them. Drive. Still hope. There's no hope. They're ahead of me, aren't they? Trying to push on. Don't want to lose this spot either now. Just trying to hold this, get to the end of this race, and that has been amazeballs.